Got it.
Okay. Founder of Helping Young People Excel, organization dedicated to educating teens and helping detour them from turning
All right,
to
brothers,
crime,
hold on.
right?
Yeah, nigga, you done your homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you to have to lean over too
Okay.
much, my brother. There you go.
All right.
I got Mr. Charleston White on C. McGee TV. What's going on, bro?
Say what's up with it, homie. Happy to be here.
That's what's up. So let's jump right into it. This is the founder and CEO of Helping Young People Excel, an organization dedicated to educating teens and helping detour them from turning to crime.
Yeah.
Is that a good assessment of what help is? What hype is?
Yes, sir. Hyped About Hype Youth Outreach. Yeah, that's that acronym.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Texas Nigga Nation. I'm jumping right into it. You know me.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I got to jump right into it. You don't know, you about to know. I'm about to jump right into it. Okay, explain what Texas Nigga Nation do. Do y'all have like a 10-point program? Because, you know, with the Black Panthers, I see they had a 10-point program where everybody followed. Like, if I wanted to be a part of Texas Nigga Nation, how do I become part of Texas Nigga Nation? Do I have to be from Texas? Can I be from anywhere? I mean, do y'all have a pledge, a code of conduct? How is this? How do I initiate? How I get down with Texas Nigga Nation?
Your heart and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart and spirit. Texas Nigga Nation come from Texas Nigger Nation, Nigger,
Mm-hmm.
which was created by a guy that we call Pops. The old man, he was born in 1945. He went to Vietnam, and when he came back from Vietnam for fighting for his country, he saw his people was over here fighting for their rights, getting done how they was done. So him, being who he was, man, he opened up a club in the early 80s, late 70s, called Texas Nigga Nation. And there was a sign on top of the club that said Texas Nigga, Nigger. And that's the name of our ancestors before we even had names. That's a race of people. Was called that. They heard that word before they died. They heard that word when they was born. And so he took that word, embraced that word, and created this organization called Texas Nigger. Me and you can't be that. We can never be a Nigger. For one, we don't know what them people had to go through, what they had to endure being called that, right? So he called himself Nigger, coming from the 40s. We come along from that word nigger to us saying nigga. It transformed, right? So think about the people who was called nigger. Their children didn't want to be called nigger. The people who was called nigger really didn't have a problem being called nigger. They was more concerned about how they was treated and mistreated compared to what they was called. Their children came along and some became colored, some became Negro, then it was black, right? So when you think of Dr. King them era, you think of the Negro. Dr. King often spoke of the Negro in this country. Once we got rights and we started embracing blackness. I'm black and I'm proud. The Black Panther Party, black exploitation films. So you think in the 70s, right? So then we evolved to African Americans. That term doesn't derive until the 80s by way of Jesse Jackson. We're not Africans. The slave wasn't African. The first group of slaves were, but once international slavery became prohibited, slaves were created. They were made in America. They had slave breeding forms, right? So we go to African American. You got Richard Pryor era using the word nigger, Dick Gregory using the word nigger. It really wasn't embraced because we was black and we was proud. Then we come along, niggas with attitudes, right?
Mhm.
So we take on the word nigga.
Mhm.
You don't hear nobody say, man, I'm a proud black man. You hear guys say, I'm a real nigga.
Mhm.
I'm a street nigga.
Mhm.
So we take on the word nigga. So what I did, knowing the history of the word,
Mhm.
knowing that there's a class war in the black community between those of us who call ourselves nigga,
Mhm.
you know, versus the African Americans, the blacks, the Negroes, and the others. So, man, I adopted the word nigga uh, after hearing Tupac express never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, strictly for my niggas.
Have you had any black backlash from taking it from Tupac? Because you know Tupac is known around the globe.
Well,
I know a lot of people that
from his fans.
From the fans.
But I'm gonna break that down too.
Okay.
So I took it understanding it, the old niggas,
Mm-hmm.
who we are and how we use the word as a term of camaraderie, as a term of endearment,
Mm-hmm.
as a term of love. And so I embraced the word. And then I took it further, the birth of a new nation. The birth of a new nation called niggas. Understanding that when they was calling those people nigga, the word nigga didn't mean you ignorant. That don't mean ignorant. Them people couldn't speak English.
Right. Let me ask you this question. We know from a lot of street gangs, a lot of organization that was founded in the streets, and you know how they have stop stitching, they have, you know, all these little street rules that wasn't like written in concrete. It wasn't on paper. It wasn't. Do Texas Nation have a like a code of conduct? Because I think that's what's missing. That's what's missing, because we can't say where this came from, or is there a rule book? They need a rule book. They need a code of conduct book.
It was only one commandment, homie. Love thy brother. We don't need no rule book.
Okay.
You love your brother. You want for your brother what you want for yourself.
Mhm.
This is a nation of people who was trapped in bondage.
Mhm.
We don't need a rule book. We got examples. The niggas, they built Black Wall Street. Them people was called nigga. 1920, Black Wall Street was built by people who was called nigga. They built Black Wall Street under worse conditions than what we live under today. So why we can't build a Black Wall Street? They did. They was being hung. We ain't never seen a nigga hung. No offense to this guy, but he's in a studio full of black people working.
Facts.
Back in the day, it'll be all white guys and the nigga be working.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So we got it so good to where we don't deserve what we have. We should be enslaved. Today's black people, those people deserve the freedom that we have. They worked for it. They died for it. We ain't worked for a motherfucking thing. So rather than us giving a rule book, all we need to do is go back and look at the niggas.
Mhm.
Them people had land. Them people knew how to grow food. And niggas didn't kill niggas. Them people back in them days that was called nigga, they didn't kill each other. They didn't cross one another.
Mhm.
So we got a rule book. Those people go back to what our ancestors used to do. Grow their own food, build their own houses, eat at their own restaurants. They done commerce with white people. They done business with white people. Mr. John up the road used to come buy chickens and eggs from niggas. So we got a rule book, homie. We got rules. We got a code to follow. Go back to what our ancestors and our grandmothers and them used to teach us. That's the nigga nation.
Okay.
We taking on what our ancestors them tried to give us. You don't kill your own kind. The 10 Commandments, it was for Hebrews. Thou should not kill thou. Thou should not steal from thou. That's the rule book. See what I'm saying? To build a nation.
It was 666 new Texas laws went into effect September 1st, a couple days ago. Texas nearly banning all abortions. If doctors detect a heartbeat, they can't perform abortions. No exceptions for rape or incest. What is your take on it?
Man has gotten beside himself.
Why you say that?
Man is trying to act as God now. You have men making laws over a woman's body. You have men making laws over a woman's body. So if a woman is raped, if incest is committed by some perverted uncle who's screwing his underage niece, she can't abort the baby, but this 12-year-old kid can get his dick pushed inside out so he can have a vagina. This transsexual man can transform into a woman like that. Your confused child who may have been molested or raped is at school, and she or he don't know if they want to be a he or a she. And the school can keep that secret and private from the parent who has to take care of the child. But you mean to tell me if somebody raped this woman, she can't abort her baby? Man, the world is getting evil when they start making laws like that. I don't know.
Before you continue, by the way, this they had advocates fighting to go against this yesterday in Austin and in Dallas, and they're turning to the Supreme Court. And by this morning, the Supreme Court was saying we ain't trying to hear it, so they're not stepping in at all. So this is concrete.
Back to what the ancestor told us. This his country. He make his laws. He make his laws. Those aren't laws in our favor. Who commits more abortions than African American people in America? So they could be saving lives, right? 1,600 black babies are aborted every day. And when you go to trying to figure out what Margaret Sanger created Planned Parenthood for, was to exterminate us. The sole purpose of abortions was for us. So it has its ups and its downs, but to say somebody who's been raped and incest, man, they can't, that's pretty cold, right? That's pretty cold. But how many of us was up there during legislative session advocating, speaking, holding whatever politician that's voting on that bill accountable? We wasn't. I'm normally participating in legislative sessions, partnering with different lobbyists and policymakers, and so I understand the process and being up there from February to June, in and out those House committees and congressional hearings. So I understand that process. And when you look around and you see how easy it is to get a bill passed or get a bill just authored and put on the calendar to be heard, more of us should be there.
Right.
Yeah, more of us should be there. So what we do is you get back in the polls.
Mm-hmm.
You get back in the polls, homie. It's a reason why they try to put in different barriers to stop people from voting, because voting matters.
Definitely.
Your vote counts. I don't give a damn, homie. It's a reason why white people, and I love them for this, call it a civic duty, and they participate. They do phone banking. They do door-to-door knocking. I'm talking about, man, they be live for the elections. And when you look at us, we be, it don't count, and they be rallied like a real football game, homie. So
definitely.
So we should take note.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah, we should take note.
Are you an advocate of the permanence carry, the new law, the House Bill 1927 law that allows Texans ages 21 and older to carry handguns without training or a license as long as they're not legally prevented from doing so?
Say, nigga, you going a long way with this shit, boy. You asking some real legitimate questions, homie. Some real
you're from
journalistic
Texas.
questions.
You represent Texas nigga nation. You're representing for Texas. I believe you're an advocate for us.
Nah, man. Salute to your journalism, homie. But nah, man. I'm an advocate. I'm pro Second Amendment. And this is a further step that backs the Second Amendment rights. I think anybody should be able to carry a gun without our government saying you have permission.
But don't you think this will turn into the Wild Wild West?
No,
Don't think so?
No. We already the Wild Wild West.
But now you don't have to get licensed to carry now. First you had to get licensed to carry. We got licensed, then open to carry.
What criminal been getting licensed? This helps the legal person here. This law here for no license helps the person that's law abiding. Because when do criminals follow law? When do criminals follow gun laws? So when you tighten and stricten gun laws, it only hurts the legal law-abiding citizen. It doesn't hurt the criminal who's going to get him a gun no matter what. So we want to be armed just like the criminals. So this levels the playing field.
It definitely does.
It does. You ain't so tough now, tough guy.
It definitely does.
And now the law is more on my side because I'm still legally carrying. No matter what, you're still illegally carrying, right? With or without a license, you're still illegally carrying if you're a convicted felon. Right. So what this law does is, if you get caught with a gun, you still get possession of unlawfully carrying a gun.
But some brothers in Texas don't even realize, like, if you get out of prison, you discharge your whole sentence, or you get out of prison, you discharge your parole. After 5 years, you can get a gun, but you only can carry it at the house.
State-wise, yes.
But statewide, but federal, no. But I solely believe, like, you can't be out here selling drugs in your house and then you have your pistol there, and then the state come in and they see what's going on, and then you think they ain't finna turn it over to the feds. No, if you just have to use your pistol, use a pistol.
Yeah, and on the safe side, if you're an ex-con and you have a felony conviction,
right,
have your wife or your girlfriend purchase the pistols and leave them in your home, leave them in your car, because you can travel in your car, right? They pull you over. Man, my wife left that in the glove box.
That's part of my person. That's part of my person. That's part of my person.
You see what I'm saying? So you can legally cover yourself like that. Nobody's trying to lock up a law-abiding citizen, homie. No, I don't care if you've got 10 felonies. If you're law-abiding, you've been living your life pro-social values, homie. Nobody's trying to lock you up, homie. You have to defend your home. You have to defend your family. Nobody's trying to lock that up, lock a person up, homie. They want criminals with guns. They want the young guys we see in the videos in the neighborhood with these military high-powered rifles that they're shooting in the neighborhood with grandmother and the kids in these small wooden houses in the hood. That's what we trying to get rid of, homie.
I understand. Are you familiar with the social studies curriculum that changes, that the 1619 project?
Yeah. Very, very disturbing that they trying to they whitewashing history.
That's what they're doing?
Yeah. The critical race theory is a big topic right now.
Correct.
With that social studies curriculum, they want to do away with slavery. They want to say indigenous. They want the horrific part, the brutality, the inhumane part. They want to make it all like this was all equally. Everybody was equally enslaved. But there was something done to the nigger that wasn't done to the Jew.
Facts.
We were brainwashed, right? We was identity stripped. So remember, the first batch of slaves were Africans who had a culture, who had a language, who had songs, who come from different villages. But all of Africa wasn't enslaved. It was a small portion of northern Africa. They didn't enslave the whole country and brought over here, right? So the first generation, the first group of slaveries, when slavery was instituted in America, were African people. They had a culture. They had a village that they came from. They could speak a language if they saw another African who come from there. Those that was born into the institution of slavery have no identity, have no language. They lost. They have no land that they can say we can go back to America. Yet they'll forever be a second class to whomever's in power. The more immigrants come, the lesser our class become, right? We're fourth, fifth class citizens now. On top of we got Afghanistan coming in, so that pushes us down. When there was a time, it was nobody but black and white here. Black and white here. So, to answer your question, the biggest mistake we're making right now is removing that out of history.
I understand.
It's the biggest mistake we make as Americans, black and white.
It's part of the culture. It's American history.
It's American history. But our biggest ally in the world is white America. And we think they our greatest enemy. They our biggest ally, homie. China, Russia, North Korea, none of those people would give us free education.
We always had a Cold War with them. We always been at war.
When you look at how they do Africa,
Facts.
when you look at the history of America and you look at characters like John Brown, man, I remember them teaching me about John Brown in the 2nd and 3rd grade, homie. White man that died with his son. You see what I'm saying? You can go on and on. When you look at the Black Panther Party, when you look at their history, when they went to the college and started passing out them books, who did they get? They got with some white people. When you look at Fred Hampton, nigga, who he got with? Redneck Peckerwoods.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Biker gangs. So our ally is with white America, but because of immigration policies, because of the two parties, they divide us. They divide us. The greatest common denominator that came and healed racial tension after the civil rights movement, homie, was hip hop. Homie. Rap music brought black kids and white kids to fulfill Dr. King's dream. Had no shit done that till rap came, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing had done that till rap came, nigga. We fulfilled Dr. King's dream.
The Texas just implemented the Star Spangled Banner Act. Professional sports teams with state funding are required to play the national anthem before games under the SB4. What are your thoughts?
Come on, big brother.
Talk to me.
We're losing our rights as Americans. Our government is dictating us now, homie. They're making laws and forcing us to, no, man.
Hold on, isn't this crazy right here? Hold on. It's crazy that 666 new Texas laws.
Hey, man.
666. It's crazy.
And hold on.
Hold
on. And if you don't think they don't take note of that, right? This is a Bible state.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, this is a Bible state. This is the Bible Belt. Heart of it. We don't serve alcohol on Sundays. We stopped serving alcohol at 2:00. If you think they didn't look at that and said, they let it go forward.
Give me about 2 minutes. Let me use the bathroom. I'm coming right back.
Sounds good. Take a little break right quick.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm glad you said that because that was my next. You falling into what I got to do. Hold on.